Hey y'all, my name is Karyn.
And I'm Mingo.
This is the Mingo and Karyn Show. Whoop whoop. Yes. So we've been married for 27 years and we decided, we started a podcast and decided that we wanted to start doing videos so that we could just, share with you all just some of the things that we've learned in life through our marriage, just through our own individual growth and relationships and real estate and everything that we are kind of involved in that encompasses our life. So we're just excited to be here with you all, and thank you so much for watching.
Yeah, it's like that place where we've been married such a long time now, 27 years. Wow, that's a long time. And so now we're that couple that has necessarily, I don't want to call it wisdom, but I will call it wisdom. But I'm talking about experiences. We got a lot of experiences. Yeah. And I think what's a little bit different for us is that we don't mind sharing them, and we don't mind sharing the bad ones too.
Yeah, for real.
I don't want to call them bad ones. Let's say the ones we learned from.
Yeah, some of it was pretty bad.
I get it.
We've been through a lot, and I think what's important for us is that we sometimes didn't always have people to express to us or to tell us or to share with us, like how to deal with things that we were going through. Yeah. And I think from our personal journeys that we were going on individually, because a lot of people assume that, for us, because we get a lot of questions about, how did you all stay married this long or whatever, and people always see us together. So they assume that we are we're the same, going through the same thing. And sometimes I may be going through something you're not going through and vice versa. One thing you used to always say, I don't know how you say when one of us is down.
Oh, no, it's just this is I'm going to set it up for you. Set it up.
Set it up.
Okay, Karyn is about to hit the floor, right? I'm right there next to her. But the key to it is both of us not going to hit the floor at the same time.
We going to hit it at the same time.
No, we might be holding on by a thread. And when I say a thread, I'm talking about a thread you can't see. A mustard seed thread.
I was going to say a mustard seed.
But we've been fortunate enough that both of us do not hit rock bottom at the same time.
So what we try to do is encourage each other and help each other stay lifted even when you're down. Yeah. I think that's really important. And I know that one of the things that we learned throughout this process in our lives is to really know our own worth and to understand ourselves, like where we are right now. When we were younger, we didn't even know what that meant. Like we didn't. What do you mean know your worth? Like I know I'm Karyn. Right?
Are you trying to trick me? That's a trick question.
Right. Like what is? Because you don't think of yourself. You think of things like your house or your car. You think of things as being worthy of something or worth something. Yeah. You never think of your own self being worthy. Yeah. Well, I didn't. I ain't gonna speak for y'all. I ain't gonna speak for you, Mingo, because I forgot we ain't the same person. Yeah. But just for me, just understanding that I recently had this revelation. When I say recently, I would say in all of my years, all of my adult life, maybe within the last 2 or 3 years, max, that I've learned to understand what my worth is. And it just means for me, knowing that I don't have to be compromising in who I am and what I am. I was made this way for a reason.
Yeah. And when you start thinking about knowing your worth, I mean, we had to really break it down because people put worth in different things. Mm-hmm. So I'm not talking about your house, your car, your bank account, your degrees, who you know. I'm talking about when you wake up in the morning and look at yourself in the mirror and you can't fool that person. Right. That's the person I'm talking about getting that worth.
Can't run from you now.
And that doesn't come quick because you got to shed some things because what people don't realize, and I hate to say people, tell you what I didn't realize. Ego can slide in so quick you think it's your personality when it's really just you not knowing your worth. And when you know your worth,
and I was gonna say, can you for the people who don't know, can you, even for me, because we value things differently. Yeah. Right. So when you say your ego, give it to us.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
I'm tell you what I just did. You know how when you learn math and you're trying to teach somebody how to do math.
Oh, you did.
You skip all the shortcuts.
Yeah, you did a shortcut. Oh, okay.
I ain't let y'all see none of that. So
none of it.
Let me go back and show you my work. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Show you my work.
Got it.
When I say ego doesn't mean you have to be an obnoxious person. When I say ego, I'm saying that sometimes you have to motivate yourself in a way that is unbelievable what you hearing yourself say to yourself. And when ego flares up, ego will say, you can do this, right? Right. But you got to control it in the right way. Because ego, sometimes you can build yourself up and push people away.
Ooh, that's good.
And so you don't
can we get a moment of silence for that?
Moment of silence, come on. All right, there we go. Yeah. All right, so build yourself up and push people away. Sometimes you're working so hard on your own grind you're leaving people behind or you're stepping on or over people.
Wow.
In order to get to your goal. You don't want to do it like that.
No, you don't.
Because I used the first person I heard say, be careful who you step on your way up, because you might have to see those people coming back down. Karyn was the first person I heard say that. So for me, it's like, okay, Mingo, you got to be very careful to not let Mr. Fantastic and Mr. November take over the situation. You know what I'm saying? Mr. Fantastic, Mr. November. You know him.
I know him.
You know him very well.
I know him very well.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah.
No, but I'm being serious. This is a serious moment. Ego can ruin everything in your life. Mm-hmm. Ego would tell you that you qualify for something you're not qualified for.
Ooh.
Ego would tell you...
Is that what it...
Yeah, ego would tell you you deserve something you didn't work for.
Wow.
Ego would tell you you should have something that's not yours.
Wow.
So now, when I'm talking about knowing my worth, I want it to be worthy of being your husband.
Oh, babe.
Yeah, I wanted to be worthy of being a father to my kids.
Yes.
My kids call me hero. And, I mean, they literally I'm like, what's up, y'all? They're like, what's up, hero? And for me, for a while, that kind of felt weird because I didn't feel like a hero.
Yeah. Because
I didn't know my self-worth.
Yeah. And actually, even piggybacking on that, we talked about it a lot of times where I'm like, babe, I just don't feel like the hero that they keep talking about. And I'm like, but you are. You're their hero. Because coming from a place where you weren't, your father wasn't in your life like that.
Yeah.
But you're an amazing husband. You're a great dad. You're a wonderful grandfather because you're present.
Yeah.
And I think that sometimes people mistake somebody being there with being present. It's two different things.
Yeah.
You give not even in a selfish way. Now, he has only child syndrome. Sorry to my people who are the only child.
All the only children out there.
No shout outs. Because y'all can be selfish.
You make the world go round.
No, you don't. It's literally one of y'all.
If you was the only child,
you don't have siblings? No.
You get it.
So anyway, but he was an only child. So when I met him, he never had to consider things or be, you never had to really
share.
Yeah, you didn't have to share anything. And so here this girl is just coming in and I'm bossy and all kind of stuff. And with my own set of issues, but trying to tell him what I needed, he just didn't make sense to him because he never had to share. But I think going back to what makes you a hero is because you will do anything in your power not to fail us and let us down.
Well, thank y'all.
I mean, we have been through, we have stayed in hotels together. We have been through some things. We've had it all and we've lost it all.
Yeah.
During the Great Recession, we're still here. But even I'll tell y'all this quick story. So, because we said we were going to be transparent. So it was during the time we did not have a car. We were staying with relatives. It was crazy. So we were having to use the relative's car to go to take our oldest at the time, back and forth from school. This man thinks he's not a hero, but on the coldest day, in that particular year, it was the coldest day of the year, and he walked to go and get him, and it was a long way away, and walked back with him on his back. So for him not to think he's a hero, listen, child.
Y'all trying to make your boy shed a tear, but it ain't gonna happen.
Don't shed it.
It ain't gonna happen.
It's okay to cry. But so I wanted to say that when you talk about, we're talking about knowing your worth and understanding growth.
Yeah.
Regardless of how, you didn't like to share, your heart has always been good. You're a really great person. What you about to say? I
got a correction. You saw that look on my face. I got a correction.
I knew it. I saw your face.
It wasn't that I didn't like to share. It's I didn't know how to share.
Okay, anyway, so we're going to let him ride out with that. It's still, the common denominator is share, okay?
Yin yang,
You went to school. You had friends.
To disagree.
No, okay.
Only child, multiples.
No. So, anyway, but getting back on a serious note, y'all, I think that when you talk about ego, for me, it was, I had a very self-righteous attitude.
I get it.
You know what I mean? I always felt like, I was kind of the right fighter type. And it's like, well, if he did something that I didn't perceive as the right way to do it, I was going to show him how to do it. And sometimes I'd be so busy trying to tell him what to do, I'm failing me in my own damn life, And I think that it's important to recognize the things about you so that you can understand what are the things that are keeping you from understanding what you're worthy of. Being self-righteous and thinking that I knew everything almost prevented me a lot of times from being able to hear from others and being able to learn.
Well, I like where you're going with it. So let me ask you this question.
Okay.
Do you know yourself?
Yes.
Elaborate.
Okay. Oh, you're doing the ego. Oh, okay.
That was Mr. November.
Okay.
You saw that voice change. Elaborate.
Okay. So, let me just talk about when I was lost, where I didn't know. My life was too centered around everything on the outside of me.
Your duties.
My duties as a wife, as a mother, as a, whatever, just whatever role that we all play. Because I think we also have to break it down to, as a human being, we don't feel like we feel like we're one whole person, but we're really many roles.
Yeah, we are like an onion, layers.
Yes, we definitely have layers. And I think we have to kind of break that down in order to get to the core of who we are, to know our worth. The core of who I am, I'm a very giving person. I'm a very kind person. I'm a sensitive person.
Yes.
I ain't know that. And I realized, even when Mingo talked about ego, sometimes our egos would be bumping up against each other in that sense. But until he, kind of explained it to me about what you consider ego to be, I think I had a little bit of that too. So we like to say, like, my middle name is Latrice, so my nickname is Trees, and his middle name is Damon. So, but because his name is Mingo, people always get him mistaken with Mango, right? Yeah. So
disrespect.
So when we become those two people, or when we used to become those two people, especially when we would like argue and stuff, he was Mango and I was Trees. Yeah. So I was gonna be telling him what he needed to do and self-righteous and all of that, and he was gonna be telling me what he wasn't gonna do because he's Mingo, So but going back to understanding and knowing my worth, I am smart and brilliant, and I say this so humbly. I don't say this as, oh, she just who says this about themselves. You have to say that about yourself. So many things that you would tell me over the years. You'd be like, babe, you're so beautiful and you're so this. And I'd be like, well, my whole worth ain't, my whole who I am is not based on how I look. I always wanted to be known for being smart or, doing something impactful and that kind of thing. Well, now I tell myself, good morning, beautiful girl. You look good today, girl. My worth is deeply rooted in me.
Yeah.
It's not rooted. It's not rooted in everything else around me. I want to be whole in who I am. I want my kindness to shine. I want my knowledge to shine. I want to be able to help and assist people in any way that I can if they need me. Instead of me, having to do it to fill a space in me, now that I'm full and I know who I am, then I can use the gifts that I have been given to be of help to others. You
just said something that just really moved me. Okay. I mean, it's like a whole moment just hit me that could be an entire podcast on its own.
Okay.
You said you were deeply rooted in who you are. Mm-hmm. It made me think, if the roots aren't good, the branches can't live.
Ooh, that's good.
You see what I'm saying?
Well, since we're doing a podcast,
I'm just saying.
Go ahead and get
when you start talking about the roots, when you start talking about plants, Karyn and I, we do not have a green thumb
at all.
But our oldest son, he clean with it. Mm-hmm. His plants love him. And he knows how to water them. He talks
cultivate
to them, give them good energy, take them outside, let them get sun. I'm not that guy, right? But if your roots are good, so think about the roots of your life, like the foundation of what you come from. I mentioned once before on the podcast that you can't get advice for people for things they haven't experienced. But if they have roots, it's just like when we're looking at the people who come before us. They have good roots.
They had good roots.
They may not know the exact experience, but they got good roots of resilience. They got good roots of, if the whys are strong enough, the hows will come.
Yeah.
They got all these kind of things that make them resilient. So now, for me, getting to know myself was scary.
Yeah, it's very scary.
Because I realized when you really, really open yourself up to be vulnerable, I'm not talking about you talking to somebody else. I'm talking about you opening up to yourself and saying, like, say, for example, I've never been a guy that could dunk. I've always wanted, I was good at sports, great at baseball, football. I just couldn't dunk.
Yeah.
I'm not going to lie to myself, going to that gym, walking pitch, I'm not finna dunk. It ain't finna happen.
Yeah.
But in my mind, I believe, hey, I got the legs for it.
Yeah.
I got the strength. I get that ball, we go over and it's like, pineapples, it ain't gonna happen.
It ain't gonna happen.
Your boy ain't rising no more. You running out of steam, let's lay this thing up. That's what I'm talking about. Knowing yourself, it was scary to say, hey man, I can't do that. And can't, I don't like to use the word can't. Because can't means that I can't ever do it.
Yeah.
And we always say in our family, no doesn't mean never, just means not right now.
Yeah.
So no doesn't bother me. Mm-hmm. So when I'm starting thinking about roots and knowing myself and pulling the layers back and saying, let me go all the way to the weakest part of me.
Wow.
Of what feels weak, where I feel inadequate. Let's
and you know it in your soul. Yeah. That's what's so I think knowing yourself also has to come from a self-awareness.
Yeah.
And sometimes we don't like to tell ourselves when we wrong, when we do wrong, when we ain't right, whatever. We don't like to admit that. It is a very strange feeling when you have to chin check yourself.
Yeah.
You know, and then I think also one of the other factors is how we respond to the people around us and what they say.
Yeah.
Whether you believe that or not, it shapes who you are. Whether you respond to it or not, it still gets deposited in your soul.
Oh, yeah.
And so I think, you know, if you're being told certain things and that starts to weigh down on you and beat you up, you know, then that is how you begin to lose that core of what you're worth. Yeah. Because, so for example, if Mingo says to me, say something, I'll give a real life example for me. So, you know, we're in real estate, and I had this gentleman ask me, you know, exactly what color is your hair? What is that color? Right? Mm-hmm. And I was like, it's gold because I'm golden. Like, what do you mean? Yeah. What are you talking about? Yeah. And so, but what if what he thought about me? Yeah. If I didn't have the confidence to wear my hair however I want to wear it, whatever color I want to wear, it would have affected me. But in my core, I'm rocking me. Yeah. You understand what I'm saying?
Because you knew yourself before he made that statement.
Exactly. But if you don't know you, there are things that can really affect you and tear you down. It can make you that unworthiness that you feel in your soul, that insecurity that you have, or that thing that you feel when people start to speak on it, it can actually begin to form and shape what you think you're worth when it's just their opinion. I mean, it simply is their opinion. Now, with some things, you know, if it's somebody that you trust and that you know and that loves you and they have a constructive way of telling you, hey, you know, how you can be better. That's something different. So you gotta also be able to you know, not let what somebody else says about you define who you are.
But you know how people say sticks and stones may break my bones, but words will never hurt me.
Oh yes,
that's a very untrue statement.
Very untrue.
Because a lot of times, sticks and stones leave immediate bruises, but them words show up later. Yeah. Ooh. And when them words show up now, it's like you start second guessing yourself. Something that you already, I know we've all been in a place where you studied and studied and studied for something. Yeah. And then you get there to take the test and your brain goes blank. You know, that's happened to me before. Me but too. Then you have to sit there for a minute, calm yourself down, gather your thoughts, and show up for what you were meant to do. Yeah. But if I had never taken that journey of knowing myself, and we oversimplify these things because the first step is you have to believe that you are worthy of knowing who you are.
And then so let's just say, you know, if you have a talent and somebody else has a talent and you're two different people, so it's not going to be the same, right? Yeah. But somebody says, well, your talent ain't, you talented, but you may not be as talented as this person. And then you feel a way because you're thinking, oh my gosh, well, maybe I'm not as good. Well, maybe you're just not the right talent for that person. But it's somebody out there that's a fan of yours, it's a friend. It's somebody out there that's going to like what it is that you bring to the table. And so that's why I'm saying you have to make sure that you are not letting another person define who you are to yourself, because then you start to internalize, like you said, you start to internalize those words or the thing that they said, and then you start to really think on it. But I implore you to do this. If what somebody says to you makes you feel a way, then, and it's somebody that you trust now, they're not trying to hurt you, they love you. Yeah. And it makes you feel a way, I implore you to go and dig deep and find out, why do you feel a way?
But keep this in mind too, because I'm like both sides of the coin type person. Sometimes the person who's bringing the information, they don't know themselves. So they indirectly are tearing you down because they see your confidence. I heard Steve Harvey say, when his confidence bumps up into your insecurity, he's considered conceited. And I'm like, wow, that's some powerful stuff to say right there.
But, let me say this too, to elaborate on what you're saying, that you're absolutely right that you have to be careful who the messenger is.
Yep.
So let's just say, for example, for you, if you say to me, no, let me go to my friends, because we're husband and wife, so I the way we communicate is different. Me and my friends,
they raw with it.
Yeah, we raw with it. So it's like, girl, do not do that. No, ma'am, that ain't your lane. Stay out of it. Because most likely we will know, like, what we're trying to do may not be the thing that we need to do.
Yeah. And
so the person just needed to tell you. You kind of knew it because that's why you called her anyway. I call my friends to just give it to me. Tell me what it is, because they know a particular side of it. So I trust them to tell me.
Yeah.
So I'm saying, focus on the people you can trust to tell you, and you don't let all of the naysayers, the things on the outside of you don't let that define you.
Because your friends, when you have friends like that, you absolutely know, even if it doesn't feel good, it's rooted in constructive criticism.
Wow.
That's what it is. So now, even though your ego may flare up, different things may flare up that make you feel a way, like you said, but it's rooted in love. It's rooted in making you better. Because when you're trying to become better, you hopefully won't revisit this again. And like Karyn said, even if somebody is totally wrong about what they say about you, if you feel something, you feel that little tingle, that means you need to go take a look at that. That don't mean you have to sit down with that person to discuss it. That don't even mean you and I as husband and wife. That don't mean I have to run to Karyn and say, hey, Karyn, this is what this person said. This is how it made me feel. I might need to sit with it for a few minutes and then get my thoughts together. Because Karyn is going to ask, well, why did it make you feel that way? But if I haven't taken a few seconds to process it, I ain't thought about it. I'm just in my moment like, how could they say that about me?
I remember when my first relative told me that I was self-righteous. I was in my 20s. I was like, what does that even mean? And then
that ego geared up.
It was that Treese was in the building. Up. And then but it made me feel a way, right?
Yep.
So I was like, well, let me just figure out what that means. And so she said it, she explained what she meant. She gave me the example of where I was being self-righteous, and I was. And I still, please don't get it twisted. That sometimes I ain't still a right fighter, because I am.
Yeah.
But I really, 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 really try my best to filter me more than I did when I was younger.
Yeah.
But
that's wisdom.
It is. Thank you, man. Even though I wasn't ready to receive what she told me, it is a thing that I continue to remember that is in me to do. So even though I didn't let it define me, I let it remind me not to go back.
Not define and remind.
It's the rhymes for me.
There it is.
But
bars.
I got bars.
Them bars.
All right.
Almost 16.
No, it wasn't even one. But anyway, but really to remind myself to not behave in that manner, and to say to me now, if what I'm bringing to the table isn't, if what I'm trying to do that's right is constructive, if it's helpful, that's good. But if it's rooted in being judgmental, rooted in being like, for it just, rooted in my own ego, my own opinion, what I think, then that's when I really have to say to myself, okay, you're about to do it. Calm it down and just be quiet. Just relax, and everything is going to be okay. And so I think what's also important to know as you move forward in the things that you feel in your life that you need to just kind of work on, because we're all a work in progress. Don't ever let it hinder you from knowing your worth, but also understanding that you deserve whatever it is that you wish to have in your life.
And that's a great segue, because I was getting ready to tell you, people need affirmations.
Yes.
I need them. Karyn need them. Our adult children need them. Our friends need them. Our family need them. I'm getting ready to tell you right now, you deserve it.
Thank you, baby.
You deserve everything that's happening in your life.
Too, baby.
You deserve everything that's already been laid out for you.
Yes.
You deserve every door that's been opened.
Thank you, baby.
You deserve every window that's been opened. You deserve everything you have.
Yes.
But you have to be able to receive it. And without knowing yourself, and we're not discovering who you are and don't think you deserve it. You see, when you know yourself and you know you deserve it.
He stepped on all my toes. I didn't think I deserved a lot.
I'm telling you,
I don't know why.
When you know you deserve something, affirmation ain't nothing but icing on the cake. Because you was already the cake.
Affirmation is confirmation. Another bar.
There it is. Boy, we finna drop an album up in this thing. I'm just telling y'all, this how I go. This how that brain start happening. And what I love about it is, when you deserve something, it just happens for you. Wow. And when you get it, you know how to receive it. I had a friend tell me a long time ago. He said, Mingo, you know how to sow, but you don't know how to reap. You're not open to somebody doing something for you versus you doing something for somebody else.
I think we need a quick moment of silence.
There it is. There we go. We're back. So,
that was good.
Some things move you so much, you got to just let them. You just got to let them breathe for a second.
Yeah.
So you have to believe you deserve it. I ain't talking about no hype man type stuff. I mean, you have to deserve it. In your
soul.
If you are in the best relationship of your life, know that you deserve it. If you on your dream job, know that you deserve it.
This is my dream job.
Yes. If you are getting all the degrees you want, and you wake up every day and you're an entrepreneur and you're actually thriving in this climate, you deserve it. If your health is good, if your health is recovering, you deserve it. You deserve to have everything you want. Don't be afraid to receive it, because the person I know told me I don't have a limit on what I can have.
Wow.
I can have it all. I wasn't built to do just one thing. I can walk, chew gum, dribble a basketball, and drive a car.
And you're going to dunk one day.
Absolutely.
Even if it's with the little goals.
So that height, now I'm finna start practice so I can dunk. You know what I'm saying? But
we might have to just get the kid one in there. Yeah, okay, that'll work.
We use, what you call it? We're modified with the, you know how you mix things up on the phone? We do it like that.
Oh, okay. We just Photoshop me into the...
Photoshop me, joy.
Okay. Got it.
All right. But deserving it, I mean, y'all see we play a lot. That's what's kept us together for so long. We have to be our authentic selves. And I get to be myself with this woman right here. I deserve her. And
I deserve you, baby.
And that's what makes us who we are.
Yep.
Everybody's relationship isn't like ours.
Right.
But the person who you're with, you deserve it. If it makes you feel good and it makes you better.
And you don't have to look for that person to make you feel worthy.
Yeah.
Because sometimes he can pay you all the compliments in the world, girl. If you don't know it, it doesn't matter.
Right.
You know, and I continue to say, you've never been a man that didn't tell me how much you love me, how beautiful I am, how smart I am, you know, how capable I am. But I didn't know my own worth. So even though my ego believed it, or in my that's good. In my mind, I believed it.
Yeah.
But in my heart, I did not. I did not know that I was worthy, deserving. What other people said affected me, and I didn't think it did until it was after the fact. And then I go back and I'd be thinking about it. Well, dog. And I absorbed the negativity and began to mold and shape what my worth looked like based on that.
Yeah.
And so being deserving of it means that I can have anything that I want, however I want, who I want to be, what I want to do. Like, I deserve it. Listen, you can't let life kick your tail so much that it tells you that you're not worthy of having more.
Yeah.
You can pick yourself up and you can make a change. It just do one change, just one thing. It doesn't take
one thing at a time.
It doesn't take all of that. Like for us, we wanted to really be able to do a show. We have a show. We are deserving of that. We're deserving because we have worked hard, overcome things, and now it's time to share. So I'm just saying that it's so important. It's so important that in order to live this life that you desire to live, that you understand who you are. Yeah. So that you understand that there are no limits to what you can have.
Yeah. And when we summarize everything we're talking about, because we like to always bring it home.
Bring it on home.
Keep it together. Never, we try to keep it moving down the road. You have to know your worth. Mm-hmm. You have to also know, do you know yourself? Mm-hmm. And then you can't care about what other people think, because that will shut you down.
Yep.
And last of all, you have to know you deserve it.
You deserve it.
If you believe those 4 points we're giving you, you're on to a most beautiful life, not because we said so, because you deserve it.
And you'll wake up happy. You'll wake up knowing, and that no matter what, you'll understand that what you were put here to do, you're prepared to do it. You're the person that's going to do it.
Absolutely.
You're the person that's going to do it, not anybody else. I want you to be empowered. I want you to go and do everything that your heart's desire. And just please understand that it's so important for you to know your worth. And we thank you so much for listening to us. And happy relationship building.
Happy relationship building.